All right, guys, so welcome to the Patreon. So thank you so much for being a subscriber. So we want to kind of continue our discussion just a little bit. So here's what I think is funny. Now, whose idea was this episode?
Rockies.
It was Rocky's idea.
The Patreon.
Definitely not mine.
What'd you say?
The Patreon episode? Oh, the history.
No,
History episode.
Is definitely not
It
mine.
was Rocky's idea, okay? So I was like, okay, we were going to do it on a day. That day that he came up with the idea. And I was like, well, maybe we should wait a week so we can all like get prepared and we can get some notes. And y'all were both like, what? That's a good idea.
I hate you.
Oh, I came
I
prepared.
feel like I already know where this is going.
I'm ready to go,
I
right?
already
So
feel like I
last
know
week,
this is coming.
I think, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I told you guys I wanted to have the ladies on.
You told us on like Tuesday.
Tuesday, right? So I gave you a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Gave you a little bit of notice. What does it say?
Running through history. Oh.
What?
Yeah.
From you, running
yeah.
On January 4th at 2:47 p.m., James Wyatt sent a message to the group
Yep.
of me and Rocky.
Yep.
Here are a couple. Here, I'm going to literally read it as is. Here, a couple ideas. Quote, running through history, explore historical moments and location tied to running, connecting the past with the present running culture.
Yeah, but that was based off of his idea. He mentioned it while we were sitting here.
Oh.
Moron.
I do remember
that
when
is
we
a
had
Thursday.
like I do
You're
remember,
an idiot.
I do remember when we had a whole conversation about like pitching ideas. I do actually remember.
I'm
you
gonna cut
saying
that out from
history
the
of running.
episode.
Yeah,
you
no,
can't
you're
cut-
not either.
No, this is the uncut. This is the raw, unedited.
So here's the deal.
I hate being wrong.
We-
I'm never wrong.
I said, hey guys, I would like to have the ladies on, right?
Yes.
I've already talked to them. We'll do the history one the following week.
following
So that
week.
gave us an extra week to study and prepare and prep.
No, remember it was a week before that.
We
was-
thought that's what I'm saying.
That's when I came prepared. I was the only one that was prepared.
You were the only
Remember
one
I sent the
prepared.
text? We're going to do history next
Yeah,
week?
but we hadn't already decided we were going to do it. You
Yeah,
had
we
just
did. We
decided.
decided here, and I texted it here.
You had just decided.
So what James is trying to get at, I think, is that like
That
we've
one I'm
had
right about.
3 weeks to prepare for this episode.
No, you did send a text.
and
But you didn't put it in the notes.
Well, we were sitting
No,
here.
no. Okay, people, listen. We've got this thing.
I never
and
go to
it's
that
a
thing.
group
We've got an
note.
ongoing
It's a
note
group note.
that
It
is
says
so
right here,
long.
Running with James podcast.
So long.
That we're all on.
I don't even
and
know we
we're
use
supposed
that.
to
It's a thing.
update the notes right here. We're supposed to update these notes so that we can all see them. This Yahoo sends us a text message of the idea of the Running History Bowl.
After we discussed
this
it.
is
And
how-
so, how many texts do we send throughout a
This
week?
is how well utilized the note is. It's for the group. We can all add to it. James is the only one who diligently adds to it.
You add to it?
He does add to it.
Killing me, dude.
I do see the ads. I create new notes and then send them separately to
She creates
James.
completely separate notes. It's like, so
And then
she's
Rocky-
using the Apple Notes. She's using the same
But I
app.
just make a new note.
She just creates a new one instead of going on
So
to the
if
one we
you- Don't put
share.
me in it?
And then she will
No.
text the note.
To you.
To James. And sometimes I send them to both of you because I send them to the group. And then
Dang.
Rocky just
You just
sends
got
a
out my
random
top
text
8.
message. But if you go at my phone and you want to know why is Lauren so like scatterbrained?
Nobody wants to know.
Yeah. we
Look
already
at
know.
this. Look at this. Look at this. There's
Oh,
so
Jesus,
many. Oh, wait.
screen.
There's 48 notes on my phone, and half of them are crap.
You only have 48?
I deleted a lot of
I'm
them
in the
recently.
thousands.
So the point I'm making
Thousands?
is
Why?
we had all this time to prep
I was not ready.
and to be ready, right? To make specific things. So me personally, like this is what I did, okay? I found some things that I wanted to talk about, right? I created my own separate script.
I did too.
Okay, my own
did
separate
not.
script. And then once I created the script, I went into Chat GPT and I said, I need a script for running, include these things.
You cheater.
Okay? And so
That's smart.
I was like, I want to talk about running. Give me like a topic list or what have
When
you.
I saw yesterday, I did it. I got a script already and everything.
I did, bro.
Dirty dog.
So I wrote a script and then I had basically Chat GPT
Like, make it nicer.
edit my
Yeah.
script to an extent,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
Here's mine. I was like reading and doing stuff like, okay, running with survival for ancestors.
So
No.
that's kind of what my notes look like. So
Next,
I also
Set Festival in Egypt. Pharaoh had to run 8 laps every 3 years, 3,000 BCE. Eh, Eshesh Festival, first documented ultra marathon.
So
no,
the thing I want to make note of is, what do your notes look like, Lauren?
So my notes, actually looking at his, are very similar to what his look like. I have them labeled by like what the theme was or whatever.
So read one of them.
So here's
Just
one.
pick one right now.
I
Don't
am.
don't scroll. Just go.
Fake running info. So Thomas Running. It's a social media like fake fact. but a bunch of people believed it, that running was invented by a guy named Thomas Running in like 1612. And a lot of people thought that was true. And it was like, no, this was like a whole scheme that came up that was invented by a guy. And it just goes to show how gullible people are because they don't bother to do their own research. They're just like, oh, yeah, that sounds right. 1612.
So that would have been perfect when we were talking about women's uteruses falling out.
Yeah.
I know.
And
I
fake
tried.
boobs. Yeah.
So I did try to like see if I could work
That
it
would have
in
been
there.
perfect. You could have thrown that in.
I know, but we were like in the middle of like you were going so good and the uterus thing was so funny, and then like we were gone past it. And I was like, well, never mind. There's a fact.
Okay,
gone.
give me another one.
Fine.
Give me a good one, not a faux one. Give me a good one.
Okay. The first cross-country running, history of cross-country running. The first recorded hill race may have taken place somewhere between 1040 and 1064 in Scotland, Braemar, Scotland, when King Malcolm III organized a race to find a messenger. So the cross-country running
some good stuff,
was
Lauren.
was a race series that was developed to find messengers who were fast and could run far distances. I did research. I just panic when I get put on the spot. This is what happened to me in school. I was really good at studying. I would read the material, but if you put a test in front of me or put me in front of a class and ask me a question, I suddenly don't know jack squat.
Now, I know there's probably some syndrome out there.
There is.
That says what that is.
There is a thing.
But I'm going to call BS.
I'm telling you,
I'm
I
gonna
have
call
test anxiety.
BS.
Test
and here's
anxiety.
why I'm going to call BS. Because
That is a really good fact, actually.
if you
That's a good
learn the material, you know the material. If you study the material for a test, doesn't mean you learn the material. And when stress comes in, you forget it.
It's
So there's a
confidence.
difference between learning them. No, there's a difference between, and you're right, it is confidence.
lot of it comes down to
When
confidence.
you know the material,
You can
you
teach
have
it.
confidence. That's what I'm always telling you about with your training.
I don't have confidence.
If you train properly,
It does go out with your training.
it does, because
Yeah.
if you train properly, you'll be confident. When you don't train properly, it's like you studied for the test, and now you know you're about to fail the test because you didn't learn the material.
I'm studying for the test right now.
Drop your shoulders. Stop doing this bull. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I know.
Who's in control of that?
Me.
Bam.
I don't like it.
You don't like what?
I don't like that I'm in control. I get stressed.
Oh my God,
That's like when James tried to give me power to introduce the episode, and it was a hot mess.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing this
Which
enough.
is so funny, though, because I feel like I can be on in front of people. Like, I feel like I can be very charismatic, and I can, like, chat. I can give direction. But when it comes to certain things, and, like, honestly, this is a huge compliment for you because, again, you're like a big brother to me. Like, I see how you carry yourself, and people, like, see you as not an authority figure, but they respect your opinion. Like, you come in and you, like, have this, like, sense about you. Like, I'm confident in what I do. And I see that. I'm like, I can't follow that. And then I, like, panic.
So here, I find that interesting because I don't agree with that.
Which part?
The fact that people, like, respect me.
They do, but people also like to give you a hard time.
I feel like when I talk, okay, I'm going to give you a perfect. Now, we all know I've had a tough week this week, okay?
It's been a rough
It's been a
week for you.
struggle for me this week. And most of the time, I'm pretty even keel, right? So I try not to let things get me too stressed out. I stay pretty, like I can control it, and I'm pretty patient,
Yeah.
right? But then there are some, so like personal family things.
Yeah.
Like there are very few people who can get me worked up, okay?
Yes.
And it's usually the people who are closest to you that can
Get under your skin.
like get under your skin the most,
sure.
right? So I've had a week,
point at me?
and
No.
on
That's when
was it
whoop.
sometime this week, this dude's like he texted me and he's like, hey, you got time for a consultation or something like that, right? And I was like,
I was practicing.
sure, man, for sure, let's get together. So he comes in and he's giving me all the what for and all the information and all the stuff. It was good, it was all great. And he's like, so I want to talk to you about your leadership, right? So like this morning, right, you did this, and so like
Hey, you
I
gotta be
was-
able to critique the Proverbs.
what?
It's in Proverbs.
I said it was good.
Oh, it was?
Okay,
All right, cool.
But like it was a very like
It was
it was.
skewed.
I told
It
him
was
it was a
just
very
one-
small sample size,
Yeah.
right? Because I coach people all day, every day, right? I do like 3 to 4. Well, I do like almost 5 to 6 classes a day, right?
do a
Not
lot.
including like one-on-one stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think I'm extremely patient with people.
You are.
And I think people oftentimes like
Get offended.
no, they don't listen.
Yeah.
They're not listening. They're too busy doing all this other stuff on the side. And most of the time I give them a hard time a little bit, right? But then I just let it go. But like Tuesday, I purposefully, because I knew I was a little stressed. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. So I was already a little bit kind of on edge. Because
I could tell you were a little
it was
on.
late the night before I'd got in. So I was like kind of whatever. And we had a bunch of people in class,
It was a big
right?
class.
So I knew already that since there were more people, it was going to be harder to kind of control. And when I say control, I mean like lead them through the workout, right?
Yeah.
Because when
You're
there's people, there's
managing a
energy.
lot. You're
right?
managing a lot.
There's a lot of things going on when there's that many people. And so,
Well, especially when so many of them are still pretty new to it, like you have to give a little more detailed instruction.
sure. So I get in there and I'm telling them what to set up. And I say, okay, I want you to put 3 45s,
You got so upset.
2 35s, and 2
You were there.
25s.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
And I said it 8 times. I counted. I said it 8 times. 4 people were walking around just looking at the other people. And there were a couple people specifically that just start carrying weights and just throwing them out, just putting them out. Just bring all the weights out. Bring all the weights out. And I'm just sitting there and I'm watching them. And they're like, okay, so how much weight do we put on each one? I'm like, you've got to freak. So I said it one more time. So then they just start throwing weights on. Just start throwing weights on.
Not doing any math.
And they're not listening. They're not doing the weights. I had done the math for them already. And then I stopped and I was like, I slowed it really, really slow. And I said, 3 45s, 2 35s, and 2 25s.
You could tell how frustrated he
And
was.
one particular person like snapped at me. Like,
Who was it?
and I was like, I said it like 8 times. Let's go. So I was frustrated. Usually I wouldn't respond like that because usually I have more patience. So I'm a human being too. Am I not allowed to have a little stress?
You are 100% allowed.
Am I not
to have
allowed
stress.
to like not like respond the correct way all the time?
You know what you should do?
What?
You should get everybody around you once they're done warming up. Everyone gonna take a knee, like a coach.
No,
coach.
I think the worst thing
Everyone
was
take a knee.
You weren't here last night when he was like, sometimes he's got to take a couple rounds at the punching bag, and I got 2, and you said I got 2 in here. And
I did say that.
He said I had 2. He goes, he pointed at the one in the corner, and then he pointed directly at me, and I just like
I did.
went right
well,
behind
that's
Laura.
the physical punching bag.
emotional
She's the
punching
emotional punching bag.
And I just like slid right behind Laura.
And it's not an intentional thing, but she
No.
takes everything as an emotional attack. So
I take life as an emotional attack,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So she's got to go. Get out
I
of
do.
here.
Unfortunately,
Go.
I got to go, guys. See y'all later. Y'all wrap it up. Have a good time.
So now that she's gone, we can really talk about her.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
So the whole point was she was prepared, but she wasn't prepared.
wasn't prepared. Wasn't ready to be on camera for it.
Talk again.
Say again.
Talk again.
Me? I'm talking right now.
I'll just mute her mic.
Okay, that's good.
How's that? Show me the battery on that, Lauren.
What?
Show me the battery life on that camera, too.
I can't see it.
Oh,
I'm already down here. It looks full.
all right, perfect.
Yeah, it looks full.
Works for me. Now, where were we?
Well, just talking about my stressful week.
Stressful. Oh, yeah, same.
You've had a stressful week?
I did.
Yeah?
When someone told me they're coming from there, I can say it on the Patreon. These people pay to listen to this episode, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I can say his name.
What's his name?
Coleman.
Coleman said he was coming from you?
Coleman said he was coming from my spot.
Dang. What was your response?
I was actually kind of like, it was motivating.
Yeah.
It was motivating. If he's serious, and that's cool that he has motivation, but it was also like, that's lit.
Yeah, because he looks up to you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Coleman, for looking
Yeah.
up to me.
Shout out Coleman if you're a Patreon
Patreon
supporter.
man.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but actually, that's funny because last week on the podcast, you guys were giving me what for. Y'all were just all bam. It was like bam, 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 bam. And Danny especially was getting in on the bandwagon. She's like, "Oh, I'm faster than you. I'm
Yeah,
this,
hyped
I'm
her
that,"
up.
right? And you were hyping her up, right? But just to be clear, she never beat me that day. Not
Took
one
you out.
time.
She took you out.
Even though, so here was what I would do is I would run, and then right around the end zone mark, I would just stop. And then she'd pass me, right there. So like I basically was like, I was staring her down. I was really cocky. I was being really cocky with it. So the last run when I hurt myself, like I caught up to her like really quick and was looking at her, and then I, popped my stuff and I was like, stupid idiot. And then I kind of eased up. And so like I feel like sometimes people get they get on these high horses, right? And they feel like,
You're playing polo.
yeah. So like what was it? I think it was Sunday. I was talking to Tommy and to Jess because we were doing the last bit of the track workout, right? And so it was the last set, and like because the wind was blowing so heavy, we were taking turns at the front, right? So that we wouldn't have to work so hard every single time we got on the other side of the 100 meters and of the track anyway for that 100-meter section. And like every time Jess went out, she would take off. And I'm like, that's not the pace. Slow down. That's not the pace. Slow down. And so we're going to do this lap. And there was she just kept speeding up. She just kept she was going like faster and faster and faster. And we were already running like a 6:15, 6:20 pace.
Dang.
Right? There was a kid on the track. Okay. And apparently when she was running, she said something to the little kid or something about something, and he said something about she was old. And that she couldn't keep up or
motivation.
something. So she was proving to this freaking 10-year-old
That's how you get hurt.
that she could smoke him, right? And so I'm like, hey, you're not running the pace. We're supposed to be running the pace. Dude, no. I don't care how young you are, how old you are, right? That's what got me in trouble, right? So, but then when we were about to do the last set, we were talking about that, and I was like, all right, well, we're going to push it a little bit on this one, but don't go crazy like you just did. And I think she said something about like not being able to keep up to me. And I was like, see what I'm saying? You go out there and you beat my marathon time, right? That I haven't ran in 3 years because I didn't run this time, okay?
Yeah, great.
Tommy goes out, beats me in a high rocks race, right? Now all of a sudden, everybody thinks that like they're better than me.
Damn, you haven't taken L's, Danny.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I haven't taken any L's. What are you talking about?
Man.
What L's have I taken?
La.
I'm still pretty sure that I qualified for the
Yeah.
High Rocks World Championships.
You did.
And I'm still pretty sure I got a banner with me. So I didn't lose anything. Just some of the people that I train happened to do better than me in one event. And one of them, I didn't even get to run the event
But
with
it's
them.
like finding out he bleeds.
He's not a machine, Rock.
Yeah.
He's a person. He's a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, so they're like taking dings, like, oh, this is, and it's also probably motivating for them, like, oh man, I just took out James.
But I like it though.
Yeah.
Because that is the motivation I need.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm coming for people now. Because I have to reestablish, which is sad, but I got to reestablish dominance.
They got to be careful. If y'all listening, y'all got to be careful. Once you beat James, you don't feel like you got to do anything other than that.
Well, you feel that way. But the problem is like once you get a taste of it,
You want more. It's addictive.
you want more, and then you don't keep working and you lose it because I'm going to keep getting better.
Yeah, today the competitive came out of me today in High Rocks.
Get it?
My partner, well, not the guy I was working with today, but my partner for High Rocks, did 47 wall balls the
Yeah.
round before me.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's going to be tough. I'm tired.
Okay.
I came out and did 49. I just did the last
You just did the last two just to beat him.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what, and you know what? That's the cool thing about like working with a partner or like working in a group is those little extra motivations to help you take that next step.
I had Jen the whole time, like, coming for me.
Yeah.
She was beating me on the burpees. I give her
Jen.
that.
Oh, Hayes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Taking
Yeah,
me-
dude, she is good at the burpees.
She was taking me
She
out
has
of
got
burpees.
the form. She has mastered that, like, the quintessential James Dolphin form. She is like, she's got it down.
Yeah, I went out too hard the first round. The second round, so I caught the first round. I passed her on the farmer carry.
Yeah.
Second round, this girl, I smoked everybody. She passed me up on the farmer carry and
Yeah.
like smoked me. The second round, I had like 3 people get to the wall balls for me.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, it was
Because that means you went out too hot the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to learn to manage that a little bit. So the workout we did today or whatever, it's a 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 workout. And so I've done some versions of that in some of the classes, but this is kind of like ramped up just a smidge. And so, but even with that, nobody's ever finished it.
yeah.
I don't think anybody's gotten close to maybe 20. They've gotten to like the 20 wall balls or something or the 20 round, but because you only have 30 minutes to do it. So Tommy and I did it last week, but we did it with like push-ups and lunges or what have you. We would like alternate. And it was tough, man, especially after the push-ups trying to do wall balls because, like, your chest and your shoulders so full of blood. And now you're trying to throw this ball up. That 20-pound ball was heavy, dude. But we finished it with, like, 2 minutes to spare, right?
Dang.
So today I did it with Lauren and Laura.
The low runs.
They didn't come close either. They got to, like, round 20, right? And they started, like, 6 minutes before me. So I caught up and passed them. And so you remember the ladies that were talking smack last week, right? So I caught up to them. I didn't finish the workout. This is the first time I've done it because we changed it today. Instead of doing like the push-ups or the lunges, we did sled push and sled pull. So that takes a little bit longer. And then obviously it's a lot of legs, right? So by the time you get into the wall balls, like you're just like breathing heavy and, your legs are full of blood and everything else. And so like I got to the last round and I had 2 minutes and like 20 seconds to do 10 calories on the rower, push the sled, and then do 10 wall balls. Oh, I had to run a lap too. So you got to run to the grass and back. So like I'm running and I'm like barely jogging, right? Because I'm just like my heart rate's super high, my legs are full of blood, and I get to the grass. I was like, oh my god, I gotta go. So I started trying to go faster. I get on the rower and I'm just like cranking away at that thing. And I got off of that and I think I had 15 seconds. And so I made the sled down and I made it to the ball and the time went out. So I didn't get to finish. So I was like 10 wall balls short of finishing, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all I had to do was just like, I just needed an extra 15 seconds, right? So somewhere in there. Now, if I'd have had maybe Tommy there with me or somebody that was there neck and neck with me, I could have made it. No problem, right?
Yeah, me.
But like my other compatriots, they started before me. And then they didn't, they didn't even make it past they didn't even make it to the finish through round 20, right?
There's a new guy who came today.
Yeah, I think I talked to him the other day on the phone. He was coming for OCR.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not sure why he came today. He was asking me about OCR.
He thought it was OCR. I told him my name was Rock Dog.
Oh, did you?
He was like, Rock Doug? I was like,
Nice.
no, Rock Dog.
Nice. Don't confuse people, man. Don't confuse people in this place.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So we'll see if he comes tomorrow. I gave him all the information. I don't
He
know
said
why.
he's going to come.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. Nice. All right. Well, are we done?
20 minutes. We can go another 10.
We're doing what? What are we going to talk about for 10 minutes? You see how confused he looks? That's
Oh,
the
I was
look
gonna
he
cut
always
this
gives
part
me
out.
all the time. Huh?
I was going to cut this part out.
Every text message I get from you, I'm imagining you making that face.
Looking up.
Like,
I am a philosopher in heart.
yeah.
I do like to ponder on my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I'm not.
Today I was thinking about, did Hitler really die? It was crazy you brought him up.
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy theory that he went to South America.
Yeah. A lot of those Nazi dudes went to South America, Argentina.
Yeah, or they came to us. We hired him.
Yeah. No. People were mad about that. I'm like,
It doesn't make any sense. He's literally prisoners of war. And
Yeah.
they should be at least. I mean,
well, some of them got benefits and they got like taken care of. But I mean, in their defense, they were just scientists that were like forced to like work for this dude. And like pretty much everything, every piece of technology we have nowadays is because of those dudes, right? The reason we're technologically more advanced than pretty much every other country is those guys. So, I mean, it's like, it wasn't a bad trade-off.
Is Sunday Fun Day going to be on Sunday Fun Day?
Yeah.
With
Why
the
wouldn't it
Super
be?
Bowl?
Yeah. People keep asking me that. I wasn't invited to one party.
I'm not having one.
And I don't care about the game because I haven't been watching football in the last 3 or 4 years. So why am I going to change what I'm doing so other people can go? And technically, let's not get it twisted. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but technically Sunday Fun Day is my workout, and I invite other people to be a part because I'm awesome. Right?
Yeah.
So it's free, number one. Number two, I try to make it as convenient as possible. And number three, it's my workout. So, yeah. So, I mean, for a free event that you get to come to, you don't get to, like, make requests when I'm going to change it. It's going to have to be convenient for me.
That's why I don't go. I don't want to take advantage of your kindness.
You're stupid.
Going to every Sunday for free, just getting free training, free amazing training for free every Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that to
You
you.
don't want to do that.
That's horrible.
You just would rather get the free amazing training throughout the week.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Actually, this dude has been sending me messages. So first of all, he'll send me like artwork, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then after that I didn't ask for,
Yeah.
he sends me artwork I didn't ask for, and then he's like, "Pay me or pay this man."
Invoices coming in. Yeah, pay
Invoices,
this man.
pay this man. Invoices
this
coming,
man.
right? And so he's been doing it a lot lately, right? And then I ask for something, and he's like, "I'm too busy."
What did you ask for?
I don't remember, but the last thing I asked you for, you're like, "Oh man, I can't do it." I think, it was the YouTube video of the podcast
Oh, I did it.
on time.
Oh, yeah. I got to log in. So every time I try to log in,
Mm-hmm.
I said it's going to send the thing to your iPad.
Say what?
So I'm trying to upload it straight to YouTube.
Yeah.
It says, like, I got to get certified or
Okay.
authentication. And I guess the code never comes up to you or you never answer it.
I haven't
don't
gotten
see
any
it?
messages that I've seen.
Yeah, because I was like, it could save so much time if I just do it unlisted, and then you make it. Whatchamacallit? What's it called?
Listed, you mean?
Yeah, listed, public.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we already set you up to be able to do that.
Yeah, it logs out because I don't want to be on your stuff when I go to my YouTube. So I logged out and never logged back in.
Gotcha.
That's where I get these videos.
Yeah, but I don't understand, though, because you see me like at least 2 or 3 times a week. So if you have it on your computer and you can upload it to YouTube, why not just bring it one of those days?
I'm just forgetful. I can do it right now after this. I got my
For
laptop.
weeks?
Oh, very forgetful.
You can't be that forgetful because you're supposed to be. You're not her. You're not Lauren.
I'm semi-locked in.
I need one of y'all to be like. I can't have both of y'all like half cheeked. You know what I'm saying? My dad used to say, "Put both cheeks in. Never do anything half-assed." That's what he would say. He said, "I want both your cheeks in." right? If you do it, if you only want to put one cheek in, it's not worth it.
Is
So,
it?
y'all are the 2 cheeks, basically. I need 4 cheeks, not you be half
3.
cheeked, she half cheek. That's 1 cheek. I need 2 sets of cheeks. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, 3 cheeks, a full set and a half a set. She's not here to defend herself,
She is.
but her cheeks are much bigger than yours.
I'm working on it, doing the wall balls today.
You're doing those squats, yeah. My God,
So you ready for High Rocks?
I'm getting there. I noticed today, like when I was doing the my workout, like that kind of workout. I haven't done those a lot because I've been training for the marathon, right? So I really haven't done a ton of like short, really intense things. And even the paces I've been running, the marathon paces, even though they're fast paces, they're not nearly as fast as like my High Rocks pace. So it's a different energy system you're using, right? And so I haven't done it in like 6-8 weeks or so. So it's not like I don't have the fitness. It's just like my brain and my body is remembering how it felt to do that, and it's tough.
When are you leaving for Miami?
23rd.
Someone told me you're going with Carlos.
Carlos is going, yeah.
Both y'all doing solos?
He's going to do solo. I'm going to do mixed doubles.
With
Who do you think?
Lauren's going? Is she ready?
We'll see. I think she'll be all right. So we're going to run her pace. So what I thought about doing was, since I did get injured and I don't want to re-injure myself and I want to make sure I'm progressing properly, I wanted to race more, right, to get more comfortable in the racing environment, work on the transitions and all other stuff. So I was going to definitely go and do the men's because I wanted to hit a certain time.
Yeah.
But it's literally 2 weeks before Houston, right? So I figured, all right, if I go and do it with Lauren,
Slow down.
it gives me a chance to practice the transitions I want to do anyway. I get the experience of running. Lauren has a goal of running a certain time, so she needs to run a certain pace. So this could also be good for her because I can hold her to that pace. So it's a slower pace than I have to run. So that means the effort's not going to be so hard on me. I can pick up a little more of the kind of the slack on the workouts, so she doesn't have to work so hard on the men's stuff. And so that way both of us aren't exhausted from going full out effort on a singles. And then so I feel like it allows us to do what the whole goal is, which is just to get some reps without gassing us, right? And then also maybe gives us a little redemption from our last one that we did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you just tell her to keep count.
She's not. I'm going to be counting. I'm going to tell her, just follow me. You don't do anything but do what I tell you to do. That's going to be a struggle. But I'm in charge.
I wonder if she's going to get it in her own head just to not let you down.
So the other day, we're sitting down after class, leg day. Last night, actually, we're sitting after leg day. And out of the blue, I hope I don't let you down. I'm like, what? For what? What are you talking about? The race. I'm just thinking about it. I just want to pull my weight. I'm like, dude, you're trying to get anxious just for the sake of being anxious now. I told her there's zero pressure. There's no expectation. I'm not expecting to win. I don't care if we win. I don't care if we podium. I don't care what time we run. The whole point is practice. You run the pace. I'll do the most of the workouts. That's it. That's all you got to do. So where's the pressure? I know, but I just want to make sure I pull my weight. I just want to do my part.
The pressure's the post later, where people going to look at y'all's times or something like that, or the Instagram post. You got to say how you did.
Maybe.
That's a struggle.
So we did it together basically about 1.5 years ago. Okay. And we ran like 110. Now,
That's not bad.
We missed 2 laps.
Oh, yeah, penalized.
We missed 2 laps, so we got penalized 10 minutes. I thought it was 3 minutes per lap, but we still got penalized 10 minutes. 10 total minutes, right? So actually, we ran a 106. I'm sorry. We ran 106 together, and we got penalized 10 minutes, so we ran a 116, okay? So technically, if we'd have ran the laps, we really ran more like a 108, 107, right? And I did 80% of the workload, right? So, like the sled, when I got to the sled, dude, I'm serious. I was pulling the sled hand over hand, right? And I did 2 back-to-back because the pace was like, we were running like an 8-minute pace or something. So, like, I was not tired at all. And so, like, we did that, and we still ran like a 106, which is a really good time. If we had not been penalized, we'd have won, right? So she was upset because we ran the laps or whatever. But it's still partly my fault because
You should have just told her.
I should have said, hey, follow me. Let me do the work, right? Since I'm pushing you so much faster than maybe what you are ready for at this point. So she's got over She's got like 18 months of training since then, 18 months of racing since then, 18 months of running. So she's faster
She hit a 106 with Laura,
with
didn't she?
Laura, right?
Yeah.
So we should be fine. We're going to do well, I think. I think we're going to do really well. We just got to make sure we're counting properly and, break them up, right? And pay attention to what we're doing together, right? So I think it'll be a good confidence boost for her, honestly. I really think it's going to be a confidence boost for her.
Yeah.
So, but if we can just keep her from being all anxious up until then. But I don't know. I feel like she loves being anxious. Like that's her favorite thing to do, like to just stress and worry. And if she's not doing it, then she doesn't feel comfortable.
I think most people in life, it's hard to live life without problems going on. You got to have problems or make up your own problems.
There it is. You've got to you have to invent an issue, right? Just so things feel right.
Yeah,
in the world.
Nothing
right?
should ever just be everything okay.
Yeah, if everything's going okay, there's something wrong.
Or something bad's about to happen.
Yeah, that too, right? Or all bad things happen in threes, stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, life's hard, man. Tough things are going to happen. It's just part of life, right? So if you can't learn to manage that, it's going to make life even tougher. So, kind of staying a little more, like that's what I'm saying. Like this has been a stressful week for me. Like, so you called me, I think on Monday, right? So when you called me,
You had a lot going on.
when you called me, I had literally just left the hospital, and I was trying to run home because when I got up, I woke up and I got that message, and I left immediately. So I hadn't taken a shower, hadn't brushed my teeth, I had my glasses on, I hadn't eaten anything, right? Nothing. And so it was like 11:30, and I have a class at noon, and so I was trying to get all this stuff together, and you call me, and you're asking me all these questions, and they were pretty deep, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
You were asking me some pretty heavy stuff. And so obviously I don't want to I want to be available, right? And so I'm listening, I'm trying to respond and everything. I'm trying to work and get food cooked and pack my lunch and brush my teeth and put my contacts in, right? And get my workout clothes for that night. And so I think I told you, hey man, I got to go, right? So I'll talk to you later. And I think I had 10 minutes to get to the gym, right? And I live basically 12 minutes away. That's if there's no traffic or lights. That's me. Perfect. I'm exactly 11 minutes from my door to walk in the gym. So I had to text everybody and say, hey, I'm probably going to be late. I'm going to be a little bit late, right? So then I get here and, we're doing everything. And while I'm doing class, I'm getting messages and phone calls from, all the stuff with this family stuff I've been dealing with. So then, I go back to the hospital and, trying to figure all that stuff out. And we had class that night. So speaking of which, right there. So so when tough things happen, I don't think it's more about more things are piled on. You become more sensitive to the things that are coming. So little things are just exacerbated, right? So it's yesterday, or it was Tuesday, right? So, so it's these things just keep happening, right? It just felt like that, right? So Tuesday, right? So I went to the hospital, that morning. I had class at 5 a.m., had the little tiff with, or not
People.
tiff, but had people giving me attitude all morning long, right? Then I went and ran. I had to come right back immediately for another appointment. Then I had to run home real quick to take a shower, eat breakfast. Then I had to come back and work, had appointments, and then appointment, and then 3 o'clock I had to go downtown. So I'm going down to the med center, leave the med center, and I go do my workout that night, right? So as soon as I'm done with the workout, and it was tough. It was a tough workout, right? And I'm getting back to pace, I'm hitting the paces, but I'm kind of on the edge of struggling a little bit, which is a little frustrating, right? Because a month ago I was cruising through these, no problem, right? So I get in my car, and there's a message on there about somebody passing away, right? So a friend of mine. So I call him, talking to him, right? Trying to be caring, and considerate and stuff like that. And then I immediately go to the hospital again, right? So it's just bam, 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 bam. So usually it doesn't bother me, but that's because there wasn't something big, right? So the little things aren't a big deal. But when you're dealing with something that's huge and you don't know what to do with it and it's stressing you out, well, then little things
Becoming bigger.
seem bigger than they actually are, and they frustrate you more, right? Or maybe don't frustrate. Maybe your patience is thinner, and so when you would respond differently, it just, it's harder.
Yeah.
Right? So But I mean, it's part of life, man. It's, just,
Yeah.
it's tough sometimes.
It is part of life, but that's also like, I know for a point in my life, I was so focused on what was going wrong, I was losing sight of actually what was going right.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot more going right
Heck yeah.
because there's maybe 1, 2, or 3 big problems, but there's thousands of good things that are actually happening. Especially people who are listening to this, we're able to run, walk.
So we talk about like sowing seeds and stuff like at church, right? And we
Mhm.
talk about like, you know, people are like, oh, you shouldn't give to church, right? Oh, they got plenty of money, or you don't tithe, oh, that's old, right? And everything else. And, you know, people are like, you shouldn't give to get, right? But, you know, the whole point is like God loves a cheerful giver, right? And the more generous you are, then the more God will bless you, right? So if your wallet's full, he can't put nothing in it, right? So it's like one of those things where, you know, I was so like, there's one thing I'm trying to help somebody out, and there was like money that needed to be like given for this thing to happen, right, for them. And it's not like a small dollar figure. It's a huge dollar figure, right? And so like who's just got that kind of money just laying around, right? And so, you know, in that span of like 2 or 3 days, you know, I got like 3 new clients, and one client or whatever, like that I've had for re-ups, right, became, you know, like renewed or what have you. So like the first week of this month has already been a really good week as far as like revenue generation for BC Fitness. But I couldn't focus on that because all I can see is this huge number that I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to come up with, right? And so like as I'm talking about this number and stuff, and I'm talking to them, I'm trying to figure out what are we gonna do, how are we gonna make it happen. I don't want to put myself on the line for something for somebody else that I know they're not gonna be able to pay, right? And so like I'm trying to figure out, do I just do it and just trust God, or do I like tell them figure it out, right? Do I try to ask other people for help? Well, in the interim, all this, like somebody I've been working with has been trying to help me and help this other person, and like he's like, hey, call these people. They said they'll work with you. So I call them, and they basically like said, listen, if you'll do this, if you can give us this, right, which is about a third of what originally they said it was going to be, right? What he told me it was going to be, we'll work with this person for the rest of it. And so it's still a lot of money. And it's still a sacrifice, but like seeing that, like that was a blessing. It really was. And really it's a blessing for that person more than anything, right? But it's still a blessing. And so I look at that, and sometimes, like you said, you can't see the forest because of the trees. And so you're so focused on all this stuff that's stressing you out, you don't see that, you know, God's making a way in these other places, or he's doing this and he's doing this, because you're so stressed out about what's happening. You know, like you miss like the answer to the prayer, right? And this whole situation, honestly, on Sunday, I was in church, right? And we were during worship service, and I stopped and I was praying, and basically my prayer was whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes. Literally the next day, whatever it took happened.
Dang.
Right? But like I wasn't focused on that. I was just focused about how bad things were, right? So, you know, sometimes the answer to our prayer isn't what we think we want it. It's not what we want it to be usually, right? And what it's going to take, if you use those terms, whatever it takes, better be ready for whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, you don't be praying to eat, then get mad because your plate's full.
That's right. That's right. Just because you don't like what's on the plate, right? So.
Yeah. I think that should be good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think y'all are satisfied, I hope.
Hope your plate's full.
They got better towards the end.
Did it?
I feel like it did.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep doing this. You let us know, guys. Should we keep not letting Lauren be in? No, I'm just kidding. So she's got to go teach a class at 5. So unfortunately, so we either got to start these things earlier so she can be in here, or this is how it'll be.
People going to pay to just get us to.
That's all right.
But not next week. Lauren won't be here.
She
we
will
keep
be
paying.
here. I mean, she was here in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? She only got ousted the last half. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for coming in. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We really do appreciate it. And it allows us to do stuff like this, but then it also allows us to do some other things we're working on, giveaways. I'm actually on the edges right now. I'm going to let you guys know, because you're patrons, of inking a deal with a clothing company to get you guys some discounts on some stuff. So they're sending us some stuff right now for us to test. And if the stuff is good, we're going to do it. And it'll get you it's basically like workout equipment, or not equipment, but clothing like Viore and 10,000, stuff like that kind of brand. And from the specs and everything I've seen, it's really good stuff. So, but you know how that is.
Yeah.
Right? So once it comes in, we'll see. And if so, we'll be able to get you guys some free stuff. And then we'll also be able to get you guys, our Patreon, some discounts for sure on the products. So,
Amen to that.
So we'll see. So we'll see how that goes.
All right.
All right, guys. So thanks for coming in.
Peace.
Peace out.